At its core, Rust Valley Restorers is a study in momentum and its limits, and the theme The Same Mistakes emerges through the show's careful observation of what happens when enthusiasm consistently outruns infrastructure. Scene after scene, the viewer is invited into a world where belief in possibility is abundant, yet the systems required to support that belief lag behind, and this imbalance becomes the engine of both drama and insight. Mike Hall is portrayed not as a caricature of recklessness but as a complex individual whose confidence has been shaped by survival, and the series treats his repeated miscalculations not as flaws to be mocked but as consequences of a worldview that values intuition over containment. One particularly revealing sequence involves the intake of new vehicles into the yard, a ritual repeated across episodes, and each time the language is similar: optimism, vision, future value, and yet the physical space becomes increasingly crowded, visually reinforcing the idea that accumulation without resolution leads inevitably to pressure. Unlike more formulaic shows where each episode resets, Rust Valley Restorers allows consequences to carry forward, and this continuity is essential to understanding how the same mistakes gain power through familiarity, because they begin to feel manageable simply by virtue of having been survived before. The editing choices emphasize this by juxtaposing early confident statements with later moments of constraint, not as irony but as pattern recognition, allowing viewers to connect dots without being instructed to do so. When comparing the show to broader documentary traditions, it aligns with works that prioritize behavioral observation over intervention, trusting the audience to extract meaning from repetition rather than from explicit commentary. There are scenes where progress is made, where organization improves and clarity emerges, yet even these moments are framed cautiously, often followed by new challenges that echo earlier ones, reinforcing the idea that improvement does not erase habit but competes with it daily. A personal anecdote that often surfaces while watching the series involves creative projects begun with passion but lacking structure, where early excitement masks logistical gaps, and Rust Valley Restorers captures this dynamic with unusual honesty, particularly in how it depicts negotiation and expectation management. The conversations are rarely scripted toward resolution, instead unfolding with hesitations, overlaps, and unspoken tensions, which is where the theme of repetition lives most clearly, in what is avoided as much as in what is said. Visually, the persistent presence of Rust itself becomes metaphorical, because Rust returns wherever maintenance lapses, no matter how well a surface was once polished, and the show quietly suggests that mistakes behave similarly, reappearing when vigilance fades. The Same Mistakes thus functions less as a critique of individual decisions and more as an examination of endurance, asking how long a system can rely on improvisation before it demands transformation. By refusing to simplify its narrative into triumph or collapse, Rust Valley Restorers offers a nuanced portrayal of growth as an uneven process, shaped as much by relapse as by reform, and in doing so it invites viewers to reconsider their own relationship with repetition, not as evidence of weakness, but as an invitation to deeper understanding and more deliberate change.